All right, let's talk about getting married. But I don't mean just any wedding. We're diving into a cultural celebration that's less of a single event and more of an extreme endurance sport. Seriously, this thing requires training. And this quote right here from a couple who call themselves Sweet and Spicy just says it all. They frame their wedding not as a party, but as an athletic competition. You're not just a bride and groom. You're athletes battling exhaustion, endless social duties, and, believe it or not, your own facial muscles. And get this, the main event is 3 whole days. That's 72 hours of nonstop festivities, family, photos, and forcing a smile through absolutely all of it. This is a marathon, not a sprint, folks, and each day is a new event. So let's see how it all kicks off. And the games officially begin. Day 1 is all about the Mendi. Now, a huge part of this first day is that the bride and groom actually celebrate separately, which, as you can imagine, leads to 2 very different but equally wild experiences. So, what even is a Mendi? Well, it's this incredibly beautiful and vibrant pre-wedding ritual. The main event is the bride getting these amazing, intricate henna designs on her hands and feet. But really, it's just a massive party with tons of music, dancing, and color that sets the tone for the whole marathon. And this is where it gets fun. You can see here it's like 2 separate universes. On one side, you have the bride, Sweet. Her house was, in her words, a biohazard of henna fumes and glitter. Meanwhile, over at the groom's house, Spicy is getting his hairline critiqued by his cousins and trying to learn dance moves, all while being force-fed sweets. So you've got 2 different houses, but one shared feeling of absolute chaos. Okay, so that brings us to day 2. This is the big one, the day they actually get married. But Sweet and Spicy have a very special name for this day, Smile Jail. And trust me, you are about to understand exactly why. The day kicks off with the nikah. Now, this is the most important part of the entire wedding. It's the formal Islamic marriage contract where the bride and groom each have to say Kubul Hai, which means I accept 3 times. It's a really important, legally binding moment. But, even in the most serious moments, your brain just does weird things. Spicy perfectly described that internal panic, worrying if he just said the most important words of his life with enough oomph, or if he sounded like he was trying to secretly order a cheesy gordita crunch. So once the I do's, or I accepts, are done, you think they could finally relax. Nope, not a chance. Now the couple has to face their next great trial, the stage. It sounds fancy, right? A golden throne? But in reality, it's the center of Smile Jail. This is where the real test begins. And the sentence is long. We are talking an average of 5 hours. 5 straight hours of being stuck on that stage, on display for everyone, without being able to move or eat or let that smile drop for even a second. It's honestly less of a celebration and more of a feat of facial gymnastics. And this just breaks down the torture perfectly. First, you're greeting this never-ending line of guests. Then you're getting all these clashing orders from photographers. Smile bigger, now look serious, chin down, no, up. And then the twitching starts. Your face muscles literally start to rebel. All while you're staring at this incredible buffet that everyone else is enjoying, but it is completely forbidden to you. Sweet's description of this is just chef's kiss. After hours of this, it's not even a smile anymore. It's just a grimace, this teeth-baring look of pure survival. I mean, can't you just feel your own cheeks starting to hurt just thinking about it? After somehow surviving Smile Jail, the couple stumbles into the final official day, and they describe their state of being at this point as the Walking Dead. This is the day of the walima. The walima is the last official party. It's a huge reception, this time hosted by the groom's family, and it's all about announcing the marriage to the whole community. So right when you think you literally cannot shake another hand or take another photo, there's one last party. By this point, the couple is running on nothing. The exhaustion is so real. I mean, look at these symptoms. Sweet said her brain felt like it was 50% hairspray. They started forgetting their own names. Spicy even started congratulating his own guests on the wedding. They were quite literally zombies and very expensive outfits. But the wedding Olympics aren't truly over until the final, totally unexpected event. After 3 days of public ceremonies, our couple came home to face what they call the final boss. So this final boss is a tradition called mundikai, which means face-seeing.
It's supposed to be this really sweet, intimate moment. The husband sees his bride's face without the veil for the first time, and he gives her a beautiful, meaningful gift. Sounds romantic, right? Well, here's how that romantic moment actually played out. It's 3 a.m. They finally get home, totally drained. 5 minutes later, the moment of truth arrives, and Spicy has this sudden, horrifying realization. The gift? Oh, it's at his parents' house, 2 towns away. This leads to a frantic 3:30 a.m. call to his little brother, a bribe involving a new PlayStation, and finally, a barely conscious gift exchange at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so much for romance and poetry. Spicy's grand presentation of this gorgeous ring basically boiled down to its most raw, desperate form. This was not a fairy tale moment. This was the reality of two people who were just completely and utterly exhausted. And this is just the perfect ending. In that one chaotic, messy, completely imperfect moment, Sweet saw their whole future together. Not a fairy tale, but something real. Messy, hilarious, and totally them. The marathon didn't end with a perfect finish line, but with a snoring husband and a much, much better story. So yeah, the Pakistani Wedding Olympics was a total ordeal. But that final, disastrous, hilarious moment revealed something really deep and true about their partnership. And it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? What do the most chaotic, unplanned, imperfect moments in our own lives show us about the people we decide to go through them with?